Now let's look at similarities and maybe dissimilarities as well. The self-regulated Islamic financial system is not much different from the above UK experience. The key points of similarity are, first, the same financing property, the same self-financing property. The Islamic financial industry pays for its own regulation. And the same inwards-looking industry affiliation. In other words, there is no representation in the IRTI for Islamic financial consumers. Nobody thought about this before. They are all people from industry. Even Sharia scholars are part of the industry. And that even social problems, which are not shared with the UK experience. So it's even more difficult to protect consumer interest in the Islamic self-regulated system than in the aforementioned case for two reasons. First, the interest of the Islamic financial consumer is immeasurable in monetary terms because it's simply Sharia compliance, legitimacy assurance. Okay? This is immeasurable. You can also how much consumers have lost in terms of that. In the financial system, of course, it's easy to find how much consumers have lost in terms of money. And the other thing is that there is no monetary liability is perceivable against the provision of such Sharia assurance, except for the fee of Allah. Of course, we all have trust in our Sharia scholars. But it depends on whether this is sufficient or maybe we need more reassurances. There are still more problems about the self-regulated IRTI. The impact of financial jurisprudence on Muslim economic lives is much more profound than that of any publishable work on Islamic economics. I'm an Islamic economist. I find great difficulty in publishing my work in referred journals. But I'm sure that Sharia scholars are not studying as much as I'm doing in order just to approve of a product in the market. Therefore, the Islamic financial jurisprudence should require more rigorous scientific scrutiny than any academic work. What I publish in a journal is not very important. Very few will read it, but I have got to struggle to make it good so it can be published in a great journal. But what a Sharia scholar is not something to be published in a journal, something to be shared by the Ummah, something to have the legitimacy of the Islamic faith. So it's more important. Surprisingly, the contrary tends to prevail. Islamic economists come to learn about new Islamic financial products not from well-refereed journals or students, but from profit-geared business practitioners. More problems. Certificates of Sharia compliance, the CSCs, are income-earning assets. They give business firms valuable access to Muslim wealth, and they contribute cumulatively to the emergence of a new profession and expertise in Islamic finance. This whole Islamic finance is developing from these CSCs. This has given rise to a new brand of Islamic financing literature through an effort to bring forth existing and prospective Islamic financial instruments and investment products. And I'm already a witness of the amount of professional work that takes the term Islamic finance becoming rife in the literature. In the final analysis, business firms and practitioners from both Muslims and non-Muslim groups have proved to be the true leaders of Islamic finance. Little wonder, as they are detached from the nitty-gritty details of financial structuring, many Sharia scholars have nearly disowned the total picture. When they come to the total picture, no, we haven't done this. When it comes to sitting and doing a little bit of work, they find it optional. But it's all about the total picture. Furthermore, what about consumer interest? Is it only legitimacy assurance or anything more than this? I think legitimate assurance is the immediate interest of Islamic financial consumers. But an Islamic consumer is a rightful stakeholder in the IRTI, whether or not he is a client of the IRTI. Hence, the other crucial flaw of the Islamic regulatory system is failure to share the fruits of investment growth with the wider Muslim community. I'm going very quickly on this point because you know that I'm short of time. But you will find more details on the paper which is shown in the internet. So it's a contradiction in terms to boast of a thriving Islamic financial industry, whereas Muslim nations worldwide undergo ceaseless spells of destitute and deprivation. Left on its own, the process of Islamic financial development lacks the incentive to bring in the interest of external stakeholders. And with due appreciation to the role played thus far by the Islamic financial industry, it's timely to care for issues about quality standards and clarity of governance. So what's the needed alternative then? It might be argued that non-profit regulatory bodies already exist. We have WIFI, we have the IFSB. With all respect, I think they are doing an excellent job. These are overseeing the performance in the industry. But these are financed through the industry and for the sheer sake of setting operating standards for the industry. And what clearly we're looking for is something from outside the industry. It should be an independent, judicious body having two objectives. First, to offer an impartial, or to offer impartial legitimacy, reassurance. We have got reinsurance, so we need some kind of reassurance as well, in the interest of both producers and consumers, and to reprioritize the innovative process in the Islamic financial industry in the best interest of the Muslim Ummah and humanity at large. It might seem that I'm just going to finish by looking at the need alternative or touching on the housing part. I'll leave that for you to read, because I think it's the most important part of it. I think the proposed quality assurance body may fall within the OIC jurisdiction, or it can be formed as a subset of the present Jeddah-based Fiqh Academy. Islamic banks which conform to the new quality assurance criteria can then acquire a proposed membership, this is just a proposal, membership of the Association of Socially Responsible Islamic Financial Institutions, which comes up Masrifi. It's just a coincidence that it's having another meaning as well. Obviously, there can be no compulsion for Islamic banks to acquire Masrifi status, and the self-regulatory system might still continue to operate, but the Masrifi status will set out a higher marketing target in the Islamic financial industry, and the rules of the marketing games will no longer be the same. Actually, in other words, I'm not proposing a statutory regulation. This is impossible for us for the global financial industry. It's only because nowadays people are just looking at Sharia legitimacy as a ticket to go ahead. Now, I think it's just time to look for something more than this, something for a membership of a socially responsible Islamic bank. And so this will create a marketing challenge for every Islamic bank to try to acquire the asset. It's not only Sharia legitimacy, it's also how you are contributing to society. I wanted to go further, actually, to look at how housing schemes can be developed along the lines of microfinance, but I don't have time. But in all circumstances, there is a need for a refereed scientific journal of economic jurisprudence to ensure the quality of Islamic financial innovation through scientifically refereed works. Assalamu alaikum.